Hello everyone, welcome again to a fresh week. I hope you had a good day to the start of the week. Monday blues, especially at office if you have. At least I do have. So yeah, I think we had a good day. I think even India won the match. That was some really good bowling by Bumrah. I did watch some of the highlights. I could not watch the entire match, but yeah, I hope most of you enjoyed that win in Oval, and I did really enjoy. I'm a cricket fan. I do watch most of the Test matches as well. So a good day in markets. I'm not sure how it was yours, but yeah, a decent day. Our portfolio was kind of flat. Not much moves. Even Nifty was kind of flat. I think yeah, it was an overall day finally. But I think over the weekend, I did post a video about the stocks, which was posted in the 15th newsletter. And also, I hope you enjoyed reading the 16th newsletter. So if you did enjoy the newsletter, do let me know in the comments. And if you have any doubts regarding any of my views on the newsletter, also, I'd be more than happy to take it. So yeah, if you can hear me properly, yeah, just say that as well. Also, yeah, the video on YouTube. Also, if you have any questions on that as well, let me know, and yeah, we can discuss that as well. Okay, so we have 15 people. So hi Dinesh, hi Kumragiri, hi Sagar, hi Shalo Shankar, hey Drumat, hey Sagar. Flat day. Yeah, I think yeah, most of them had flat day today, unless you are trading something else. Um, okay, so yeah, let's start. Let's start off with the Nifty view, and from today onwards, let's keep it to two stock questions per person, right? And also, what we do is we'll stick to 30 minutes probably, probably 2 or 3 minutes more, but I'll try to stick to 30 minutes, and then we can kind of wind up the session. Okay. Um, Hi Akash, thanks for joining live. But yeah, if you can't join live, you can always go and check the next day morning as well. Okay, so that's not a problem. Okay, let's get started. So Nifty had kind of a flat, yeah, to a mildly positive day. After many days of green, we are finally seeing the first day of probably pause, right? So we see the candles are getting smaller, right? That is showing that this move is kind of probably exhausting. Probably tomorrow we might head higher as well, and then probably something happen. But yeah, last week we had very one of the best weeks in many weeks. And if you see the big green candle, I think that came most the last time we had such a big green candle was in Feb. Right after that, we never had such a big green candle, and that was an amazing week last week. And this week, I think probably we might kind of form a smaller candle, a smaller range probably this week. I don't think we'd be having a similar candle this week. It's just rare to have two consecutive weeks of green. Is just you can see days like here, right? We had that was just the rally from the bottom, probably yes, and here as well. But here, if we have, well and good. But let's see. Okay. Now, just switching to the lower end charts, so hourly time frame. So we had the first dip and probably the second consolidation, now the third consolidation, right? So again, looking at the hourly charts, that was sign of pause. Right at the morning today, we had a doji in the first hour, and then that was a sign of pause, and we had continuous inside bars, and that's a very tight consolidation which is happening right at the top. Now, anything can happen from here. We either go up or come down. That is even a baby can say that, but the most important thing for me is this trend line which I'm looking at. Okay, so this trend line, if you see, it's a perfect trend line. Oops, I'm sorry. It's a perfect trend line which has 1, 2, 3, and probably the fourth touch point. Now, tomorrow, the levels that you have to look out for is the break of this trend line. If you're going to break this, then probably that's a short-term top. But we have to break this and come down. Okay, just switching to the 5 minutes now. Right, so that low needs to break, and that's also gap fill of the gap up this morning. So probably if we break that low of 17,340 45 levels, and if we also break this trend line, then probably we are going to make a short-term correction. But the first support is right down around 70,300. So that's a major support probably. So we can kind of dip here and then kind of reverse as well. So yeah, no one knows what happens. All we can do is just make a plan. So that's the levels that watch out for. And on the higher side, yes, you have to watch out for 7390. So if you break that, probably we're heading to make fresh highs again. but it's a nice tight consolidation since the morning. After the first hour, it was just going sideways. Nothing really happened in the markets today. Okay, so that's the trend line I'd be watching at least for some time tomorrow and for the next few days at least. But here also we have, you know, a kind of a major trend line at this point, right? So if you connect this point here, that low, and you kind of extend this, right? So this is also another trend that you could be watching. So if you break here, probably we can also head towards 17,000 levels, but unless we don't go below, you know, this swing low. So this hourly swing low is going to be a very important swing low, and unless we don't break this and go lower, I don't think we're going to have any short-term panic or medium-term panic as well. So probably we might make a dip all the way towards 17,000 is my guess in the coming weeks, and then we might again make consolidate and then again head higher. Okay, so there's no sign whatsoever of any correction yet, and I think everything is just playing out really well. Okay, so that's the levels you have to watch it for. So let me again repeat. So you go long above 73.90 and you go short below 17.345 or 40 levels. So that's a simple plan, and yeah, if that happens, you can just go along with it. Okay, so if you have any questions, do let me know. Let's move on to the second session, which is, you know, trade with Trendline investor. So let's look at a portfolio. Portfolio is kind of flat, no changes since many days. If you see, we've just been sitting silently with this portfolio for more than 3 weeks now, right? Almost more than yeah, 3 to 4 weeks now, right? So we started 11th of August, right? We are almost in the 6th of September. It's been almost 4 weeks, and these are the stocks we've been holding, and we are up also decent. So nothing much happening here. So as of Friday, the same updates. There's no new updates. I'm not revising any stop loss, but let's look at the charts quickly. So LXCHEM, you know, let's go to daily, right? So daily, yeah, we are kind of pausing, right? The doji at the top is a sign of consolidation, right? So that whether it will turn down or go up is something that you can't really predict. All you can do is, you know, if you wanted to buy a continuation buy, then keep a buy stop over 506. Or if you want to like kind of short, then, you know, LXCHEM you can't really short, but then it should be the other way around. So if you go below that, then we are coming down, right? So right now it's a sign of pause, like you know, even here, right? So we had a doji here, and then we kind of went sideways and corrected. So this can happen here as well, but we have to wait and see what this is, whether it's a consolidation or whether it's a correction, or whether it can continue and go higher. So our stop continues to be at 430. I'm just switching to hourly charts to just show you what's happening. So that was that's where our stop loss is, right? So around that zone, right? And here on this level, this is where I think there's resistance. We are facing resistance right on an all-time high, and this is the level that you have to watch out for. If we probably break below 480, then probably we're coming all the way to 430 again, right? Or 430 to 450. Between 430 and 450 is where we might drop again, and we might see some correction again. Okay, let's pull up the volume. Right, so volumes have completely dropped after that move up, right? So we had a upper circuit day on this day, almost an upper circuit, and then we're just consolidating. So nothing happening in LXCHEM last 3 days consolidation. So next is Fortis. Fortis also has been going sideways. So we did have, you know, our stop loss is right now 269 odd, right? 269, and we went high again. We made a lower high. Sorry, we came down all the way just around the previous you know, swing low, and we again capped up on the Friday, and then again this morning also we had a nice move up, but then we kind of consolidated again. So volumes are still there. You see those volumes in the green candles, so it still looks good. It's just sideways correction, probably, you know, some more time before we head higher in this candle, in this stock as well. Cummins, so we had a kind of move down on Friday, but again we kind of reversed. The volumes are not that great, but I don't see that as a problem. It's just an inside bar kind of a day. So post that Friday move down, we have again moved up, right? Again, now tomorrow, in case we kind of, you know, break this highs of 1050, right? If you see, we're facing resistance around 1050, 1049.54, 1048.7, and here 1014.5. So if you break this, you know, yeah, it's probably going to break tomorrow, hopefully. If you break this level, then on early charts we'll trail our stop to 1035 odd, 1017 odd. Okay, so that will be, we'll be trailing a stop loss, because that's a nice dip after the move up. Okay, so that's the next stock. The last one is TATALXSI. TATALXSI also has been going sideways for many days now. It's been going sideways for more than 2 weeks, right? Since 25th of August, which has been going sideways. So again, this level is very important. I think our stop loss is around, this low here, around 4700, I think. Yes, 4700 is our stop loss, and we'll continue to keep our stop loss there, and we'll see how it goes. It is just going sideways. Probably IT stocks have done really well today, so probably it's just about time before this moves up again. Okay, so unless this doesn't move higher, our stop loss continues to be around 4700, and we'll not trade our stop loss yet. Okay, so yeah, that's the 4 stocks. Now there are a few stocks which I wanted you to think about. By the way, Indiamart, if you have missed the entire move, then and if you had the cash to invest, and if you missed this move, then that was really bad decision. But if you did not have the cash, then it was totally fine to miss this trade. But this was a beautiful trade, right? All I said was, I think we discussed this multiple times, 7500 above is when you should buy. And we have had a nice move till now. We had almost 20% move in just a matter of 6 days, right? And that was a brilliant move. In case if someone had taken this in futures, then you'd have made a really, really, good money. So yeah, but unless you're not really experienced, don't trade in futures and options. You need some experience. Probably try small, and then we can see, right? So yeah, it's been a good move in Indiamart. And one other stock that I want to discuss today is CDSL. So CDSL, again, the waves, the price structure is beautiful. If you see, I'll just move this. Yeah, if you see, this is a nice trend line setup, right? So starting this bottom, if you see, we have a nice trend line, kind of reversal is chugging along the trend line right now. And if you see, after this move on the 30th of August, we've had 3 down bars, and then we are again moving up. So it's a excellent setup to trade, especially if you do have the money, and if you're not really invested in, then all you have to do is place a buy stop above 1227 or 1230, right? Place a buy stop of 1230 with a stop around 150. Right? That's the 80-point stop, right? That's an excellent risk reward, and you might probably see all-time highs again. Okay, so this stock, it has a high momentum. When it goes up really fast, right? Every move is up, it goes up really fast. So you can trade this. It's a very tight consolidation setup, and you might really get some good rewards. Now, just looking at this from our normal weekly charts, right? So how do we look at? So weekly charts, this was a week when it went, 1 week it went all the way up, right? Now it's just a 100% retracement of this week candle, or whatever you call it, right? It's full retracement, and then we saw demand pop up here. Just putting on the volume. See, this week the volume kind of spiked a little bit. It doesn't really matter. This volume is really nothing. But this candle, if you see, there was this demand wick right at the bottom, and then this week we had inside bar, right? Inside bar, what is the spike in the volume? It's almost more than a 40% increase since the previous week, right? So sorry, 20% increase since the previous week, and we had a green candle and inside bar. So that's a perfect setup for going long. So the trend on the weekly, the trend on the weekly is still very strong, and we kind of just coming down. Okay, so yeah, so it's a beautiful setup. You can look at this. I think the trend line test is done, and we just about time before this heads higher. Okay, so this is the setup on CDSL. Also, the next stock I want to talk about is Network 18. I covered this stock in one of the videos, YouTube videos, and I had a 45 stop loss around 45. But if you see, we came right around 46.7, and now we kind of again consolidating. Now just observe this candle, right? So after this weekly candle, all the candles have been within this weekly candle, and this low, right, has been proven to be a very strong support. So this low of 48.2, so we hardly had any closing below that, a weekly closing. When I mean a closing, it's weekly closing below that. Yes, we had this 1 week, but otherwise every time it tried going down, we kind of came back again, right? So I'm sorry. So this week was nice doji. There has been continuous selling happening every time it goes up, and this usually happens. But this shows that the buyers are really strong. Right now, all we need is a weekly closing above above 52, 53 levels. If we close above, and if we have weekly close or even a daily close on any day, I think this is a very good setup, and probably this might head much higher from here. So also see the last 2 days volumes have been picking up, and it's been trying to break out from this downtrend, right? It has been trying to break out from this downtrend. I'll just draw the trend lines again so that it's more clear, right? So that's the lower trend line, and I'm touching those 2 points here, and I'm extending it there, And we also, so in the video when I posted, I looked at this trend line, right? So here, right? And I think I posted it somewhere here on 9th of August or something. And then we came all the way down, tested, retested this. And now we are heading higher again, right? So this trend line now, it doesn't matter. And now if you see, I'm just connecting that point to that point, right? It's simple as that. Or some people might also do this, it's totally fine. You can do whatever. Now, if you do this, then you have a closing above the trend line, which is a very, very strong sign. And now we are right around about out of the trend line. Now it's just about matter of time before we head higher from here, right? So all we need is a closing above 53, right? So all we need is a closing above this previous sell-off here, right? So 53, 54 levels. So if we kind of cross above that point, then I think we are headed really high from here. Okay, so try to find your setup. Right now the stop loss still remains at 45 odd levels. Or probably you can keep it around 46.7 as well, or if you are a little aggressive, you can keep around 48 as well. Okay, so this is the next stock I want to discuss, and the last stock I want to discuss is Gravita, which I posted in the newsletter as well. Now, if you see, we're kind of forming a very tight consolidation. Okay, let's remove all of this. We're kind of forming a very tight consolidation, so all you need to keep is a buy stop above 206 and with a stop around 190. Okay, that's all you need to do, and you might get a really good trade. Now again, on the weekly candle, if you see, we had this spike which happened and then we formed a kind of indecision candle, and last 3 weeks nothing has been happening, but there is demand on the lower side, right? So that's how you do the analysis. And I think, see, basically here we had a same spike, but then we had a sell-off, right? But here the sell-off is not happening because that's right around that all-time high resistance, right? So if you've read my newsletter, you know that this level is the level we are talking about. So it's right consolidating around the all-time high, and I think this is just about time before it starts exploding. Okay, so these are 3 setups that you want to look at. Now, in case you are looking for some F&O trades, and Piramal Enterprises is a very good setup. Now, if you see here, we've had this downtrend breakout here, and we kind of went up. Again, we had this downtrend. Now, again, we're trying to, you see those spikes which happens every time. So it's kind of have a similar kind of spikes are happening here. It is just, so this on the shorter time frames, we had a breakdown from here, right? So that was a breakdown. It is retesting that breakdown, and probably we're heading higher from here. So it's F&O stock. You can also take a trade on the cash stock. It's up to you. But the momentum here has always been strong after a breakout. So probably this momentum might continue ahead higher, and we might see a good trend here as well. Okay. So yeah, these are stocks I wanted to cover. Let's look at your questions for today. Hey Prakash. Yes, Indiamart definitely added Shankar. A lot of colors to many portfolios. Today I entered Orisa miles after seeing technicals multi breakout and retest. That is after that I saw one was very bad. Technical setup is good. Is it good to hold exit? If you're completely technicals is totally fine. You can enter any stock just with technicals. It's completely up to you. But I think Orisa Mine is a good stock. Sorry, from a technical perspective, it moves very slowly. In fact, I do trade the stock sometimes, and it moved very slowly, so I kind of stopped trading this. But it's a very good setup. It's just a breakout retest, which is happening. So if you see, that's a breakout retest, and it is a reversal. So it's a good entry, I'd say. Just hold, with a stop loss of recent swing low. I think your stop loss here should be around 2,600 odd. Okay, so I think this can head higher. It's just a breakout retest. Okay. Okay, Kumari, probably DM me on Twitter. I can check your newsletter problem. Okay. Utkarsh, Indiamart averaging up price around 8,800. You need to wait for a consolidation, Utkarsh. It's just right now going just one way up. You need to probably wait for a consolidation. Now, this is why I always say, in case when you have small setups, it's the best price to enter was here. 7,500 with stop just around, that was just hardly 8% stop. It have got a very good position size if you entered above 7,500. But for now, it has to consolidate. It might consolidate because we are on the previous swing high. It might consolidate for some more time, before we head higher. So just wait. It might has to at least 3 days consolidation is required before you add more. Okay, so wait for that. Binay is asking Signity Technologies. Pyramiding is always after consolidation. You can do consolidation. Always remember, after you do a consolidation, it needs to, your total risk in the stock should not be more than 1% or 2%. So it was a good day to pyramid more, but your stop loss for the entire position should be around 520 odd. Okay, it is a good day to pyramid, but ensure that your risk after pyramiding is not more than 2% of your portfolio or maximum 1% of your portfolio. It's completely up to you. But this was a nice inverted head and shoulders breakout and a good move today with good volumes. I think we've discussed this multiple times, Signity. it was a breakout retest, right? So we also discussed this. I think someone brought this up, I forgot the name, but we had nice demand wicks and also demand wicks, right? So all you need to do is understand how to analyze price charts, and you'll get many good setups. You need to be patient, and if you're patient enough, you would have got amazing here. See that green volume here, and see that hammer candle, right? So it's a nice follow-up today. Okay, Hindustan Zinc also looks good. It has done a trendline reversal. So I'm just going to the chart. If you see, that's a nice trendline reversal, and it can head higher again. So we kind of had a nice demand week again here. So it had a spike below the trendline and closed up, and it also is looking good. Okay, so you can go ahead and add. Akash, I think I've given my ICICI GI. I think I covered it in yesterday's newsletter. So your question is bought on 1450. I think trailing stop loss to 15555. 15555. I don't know what's the reason for 15555. It's somewhere here, right? So ideally, I would keep my stop loss here, 14446. Now it's a good time to add. Tomorrow, if you see a dip again, right, it's a good time to add ICCGI. Okay, so but my stop loss would be 1440 around, not before that, not above that. Arun is asking MSTC. Arun, please post once. You don't have to post multiple times. I do answer most of the questions, so it'll be easy for me to read through chats. Okay. MSTC is a stock which is not doing anything, right? So probably it is doing a trend line retest. I'm not sure. Yeah, probably it's a good time to add. Maybe, I don't know, but add about 282 to 83 levels. But probably that's a trend line retest, and it might head higher from here. Okay. So the entire stop loss for this entire trade is 250 odd. Okay, 250, 245. Okay. Hi Prashant, Jubilant Industries. Yeah, it's an uptrend, perfect uptrend. I don't know, there's no problem in this. Continue to hold this. It's also trying to break out from here, but yeah, it's just facing resistance there. So yeah, you can continue to hold this. If you're investing, probably 390 should be a stop loss, and continue to hold it. Naresh, good question. We already have many stocks, right? Now, we see when you have some good stocks in a portfolio which is doing well, unless you don't want to add, unless you never know which stock is moving up, right? And you never know whether our stocks will move up or new stocks will move up. So it's better to hold on to your stocks and keep holding on to them because they are in a good uptrend. They're not, they are not really affecting your portfolio in a bad way. So it's totally fine. And if you see stocks like Indiamart, it's okay to move around. It's up to you. But usually, I don't want to play much around with this portfolio because first of all, I don't have really the time for this. And next is, if you're a beginner, you should not be doing much jumping around stocks. That's the worst thing you can do in a bull market. So unless you're really experienced, don't keep moving around your portfolio. It's just going to create more churn. You'll be just paying the brokerage. Now, Indiamart has done really well, but what is the probability that we find another stock like Indiamart? Right, that probability is really, really less. And in hindsight, you can say that Indiamart was a big miss in our portfolio, but I'm totally fine with that. Unless I'm not losing much money, I'm totally fine. And we have one stock which is doing really well. Other stocks are decently up, right? So they're up around, 3, 9%, 6%. It's totally fine. 1 month, 6%, 9% is decent. So I'd be totally fine with the current portfolio that we're having. So we will discuss about, our stop losses are really close, right? So if there's a time stop that we have to consider, I'll probably consider at some point when I see, probably a big move and something. We'll discuss that as and when we have, but yeah, we can consider time stop. Probably give it, 1 month and see if it doesn't move, then move on to some other stock. Okay. because I thought SARChem broke out and added. I didn't. Can you explain? Okay, let's check. It didn't break out at all, right? So if it has to break out, it is only above this point. So you need to wait for it to break out. But the previous swing low is still intact. So the previous swing was around 216. So it is still an uptrend. So I may just wait for it. Okay. So it did break out here at this point, but right now it is consolidating. Right now, if you want to add more, then probably wait for some time and add more about 310, 311. Okay. Okay, let's look at Jubilant Ingrevia. Jubilant Ingrevia is just going sideways after that consolidation, right? So nothing much to do here as well. Probably it's forming a cup and handle pattern. It is still just 1 week of consolidation. Just keep your stop loss around 650 and just continue to trail your stop loss. Okay, Sagar is asking me to use Forgings and Garware High Tech. Yeah, Forging looks really good, Sagar. It has given a breakout probably today. Yes, I can say it's probably given a breakout today. It's a good closing, one of the highest closing. And if you consider the closings, yeah, it is a good breakout and probably time for it to head much higher. So volumes also are good. I'm just looking at the monthly charts. Yeah, monthly charts also look good. It is in a long-term parallel channel and probably it's time for it to head higher from here. Okay. Garware High Tech. Garware High Tech is fibers, I presume. Yeah, so short term it is a downtrend, but I think it's just facing resistance around that breakdown point, right? So it just needs to cross this point and then probably it can head higher. But the trend overall on the weekly time frame is still looking good, so nothing to worry here. So just wait for some more time, and if you're just taking a position, then probably your stop loss can be around 3000 odd. Okay, so that's my view. Nalco and HCL Tech. Rajan is asking Nalco. Why can't I find Nalco? HCL Tech is an awesome uptrend, so you don't have to really worry. Probably keep a stop on this day, but it is an awesome uptrend. You should be, holding the stock. So IT is in a massive run. So this run can continue for some more months. No one knows. So just don't exit. It is in a strong uptrend. Probably if you're looking for a stop, you can keep around 1100 or 1100. If you're a short-term trader, or if you're a long-term investor, 960 should be a stop. Okay, this level should be a stop. Okay, I'm not getting Nalco here. Probably someone can help me with the symbol. And we can get it. Okay, ITC is just going sideways, so there's nothing much you can do here. You have to just patiently sit, and you have to wait for this consolidation to get over. But we are I feel that we are probably heading towards the end of this consolidation, and in the month of October I think we should break out. Okay, so that's the consolidation I'm looking at. In next month is when I probably feel that we might break out. So that's the downtrend, and we should be breaking out, and there should be a strong move in the coming months. Okay, so just probably one more month of sideways, and then we should head higher. So that's my view on ITC. Vignesh has a small request. Easily come with a good set of stocks with good reason. Requesting how do you choose a stock? Please include in daily videos. If you go through my daily videos, you will find how I select stocks. So in fact, you just go through the stocks that we added and how we added. You can know that. Okay. So next is Harish. Prestige shares from 350 is now at 470. If I had a pyramid, where should I have done, sir? Okay, let's look at that. That's a good question, right? So I love answering such questions rather than just asking views on stocks. So yes, you are holding from what levels? From 350, right? So 350 was somewhere around here, right? So let's say your first time you entered at 350 here, right? Next stock went up, it came down. So your next point you added was probably you should have added at this breakout here around 360 here, right? Or you should have added above 370, 380, right? So always, right, enter on breakouts, trendline breakouts, or just above the previous swing high. So that was a good time to add. Otherwise, you have to wait for a consolidation for now. Okay. Kalpatra Power, I think it's just going sideways. It is not doing much. So I think I covered this in a stock newsletter and hit my stop loss and it came out. That was a breakout, I thought, but that breakout did not continue, right? So it did come down. Probably if I was a positional trader, I'd have got out here, right? But if you're an investor, probably you could have still held it. But yeah, it's claiming that levels again, but yeah, the stock is not very strong. So it has just been going sideways for months, right? So if I remove all of this, you will see that this trend also kind of broke down, and even the weekly kind of broke down. So it needs some time before it heads higher. So you need to have some patience here. Okay. Carvary, why I'm not getting it? Okay, I'm sorry. I have this filter on. I'm really sorry. Yeah. Okay, now I got it. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it is in a good trend. So just a breakout retest, right? So Sagar, it's looking good. You just need to have patiently wait for this. Okay. Do you have a mentor or someone you look follow up to? No, I don't have anyone. It's all the learnings is completely that I've learned on my own. Sundaram Fastner, your views? Yes. So last few stocks, and then we should be done. Wait, I'm not getting Sundaram Fastners again. Yeah, okay. It's looking amazing. The setup looks amazing. So if you see already there's a breakout here, and today it moved really well. So all you need to do is just add more if you have, or just hold it with the stop loss around 720 odd. Okay. Um, National Aluminum. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it has broken out the previous highs, so you need to just wait for it, right? So the trend is back up after that crackdown. It hit a stop loss newsletter, and it is also a breakout from a 13-year descending triangle, right? So the trend is up again. So it's also broken the previous swing high, right? So on the monthly time frame, so it looks good. So just keep a stop if you're holding. Just keep a stop around 70 odd levels. Okay. So I think we are there almost. Hindalco. It's just consolidating around the previous highs. It should break out tomorrow or day after. So just you need to wait some more time and patience. I think it should be give a good breakout. Okay, so Rama Steel's tube. Yeah, it's in a strong uptrend. You don't have to worry. It's just a short-term consolidation. The stop loss should be around 120 odd, but this is a nice move up. It's just consolidating. See, every time after moves, it consolidates. So just have some patience. It should do well. Okay. Do you use any scanners, Binay? I've already discussed the scanners. Just go to my Twitter, pin tweet. The scanners are there. I use CCI primarily, and there's nothing else that I use. So yeah, I think probably make some videos on the scanners as well. And the trading journal video is coming out probably soon. I've recorded it. I just need some editing, and then it should be out. So that's it, guys. So I hope I've covered all your questions. So yeah, there are 29 people. Don't forget to like the video before you jump out, and yeah, don't forget to share this video with your friends. We discuss a lot of stocks every day. I hope they're helpful. And I also gave a few stocks: CDSL, Network 18, Gravita, and also PEL from the futures. So if you are taking these trades, and if you do make some money, do let me know on Twitter or on the videos tomorrow. So until I see you tomorrow, take care and safe trading, and take care of your health as well. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.